I programmed all day, and I decided I needed a nice little break to play some video games, and I decided the best video game for relaxing is going to be playing a video game about programming, which is actually, like, I say that kind of in jest, but there are actually people that really do operate that way. Like, they only feel relaxed if they, like, program for fun at some point in the day, which is insane to me, but I guess for some people it really does help. So anyway, this is about getting rid of all the vowels, apparently, and it's been like 4 or 5 days since I played this game, so I have no idea if I remember quite how to do this. I know that if I subtract letters from other letters, it'll be a... If it ends up being 0, then they're equal. So basically, for every letter, I need to test it against every single other letter, and if it's 0, then I jump to... excuse me. That was appealing, wasn't it? Then if they're equal to each other, then I jump and I outbox whatever I'm holding. Otherwise, throw it away. So, first things first, we inbox whatever we're holding, and then we need to copy it somewhere, because when we do this subtraction, it's going to be a destructive operation. So we need to copy that to, we'll call 6, and 6, we'll give that the name of in underscore CPY. Okay, so now we need to begin our loop, which is something to the effect of, we'll have a jump up to here. So this we'll put this as we'll put a comment here that says loop begin, and the very first thing we need to do at the start of every loop is copy from this one. What was your thinking on your tips? Well, that's for a different game, but they're interesting stuff. When I do play Kingdom later, I'll definitely try them out. But this is Human Resource Machine, and we are way, way, way past the era of kingdoms and sovereignties and all that good shit with, like, queens and whatever. Anyway, yeah, so the very first thing we need to do, we need to always copy from here, and then we subtract it from whatever... Yeah, so we just need to iterate through this list and subtract things. So we also need an index variable. I forgot about that. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do is we have 0 here, so we need to have like an I somewhere, which is equal to 0. So when we inbox something and we copy the input into incopy, we also need a index. So we'll say that this is our index, and this just counts from 0 all the way to, this just increments until we get to the end of our array here. So the very first thing we need to copy from our 0, which we'll name Z. We copy from Z, and we copy into index. So that puts a 0 into our index, and then we start reading from whatever index is pointing to. So we subtract from index, and we subtract from it in reference mode. And then what do I need to do? I need to jump if that's 0 outside of my loop, and outbox what I'm holding. Otherwise, if it is 0, otherwise, so that's what we do if it's 0. So we'll call this, vowel. So this is the branch of code that we execute when we're holding a vowel. And the other thing we need to consider is the case in which we're holding a consonant. So we jump if it's 0, otherwise we fall through. So if we're holding a vowel, a letter which we don't know if it's a vowel or consonant, it means we need to keep going until we are at Z, basically. So when we copy from incopy and we're holding, okay, so we need to test inbox first. So we copy from so the very first thing we need to do is we need to perform a test first, and then we copy from the input. So we copy from whatever index is pointing into, and we do it in reference mode. And then we say, if this is 0, then we've reached the end and we're holding a consonant. So we jump back to the top of the loop here. Otherwise, we copy from in copy, subtract the index, jump if it's 0. If it's not 0, we jump to the start, we outbox, and then if it's a vowel, we jump all the way back to the beginning. So this does it. Let's see what happens. I don't know if this does it. That's just me saying I think that this does it. Let's play it out, though. So we get N, we put it in copy, we get 0, load it in there. From that, okay. I've done something wrong. Aha. Because I forgot to ever actually increase my inbox here. So we copy to index, and then we copy from what index is pointing to, which is A. Yeah, okay, so this part's correct. So the last thing I need to do is when we do the fall through, we just bump up what is currently an index to move on to the next member of our array here. Okay, so we get M. We grab 0, we put it into index. That's part of our initialization. We grab A, it's not 0, so then we subtract A from M. We bump up 1. We grab E, grab M. I believe I'm doing something wrong. Oh, no, I understand what I'm doing. Okay, this all makes sense, actually. So we shouldn't outbox anything for this one. But we do need to keep testing what we're currently holding, because if it's equal to 0, then we've reached the end of our string, so to speak, and then we don't outbox anything. Okay, so this looks like it worked perfectly. We grab 0, we jump, we throw it away, we don't inbox anything. We load an E, we initialize our index to be 0, we grab A, subtract E from A to get 4, we throw it away. So this is the other test case. We grab E, that's 0. Fuck. So I outbox 0. That was the last thing I needed to do. Or that's the last thing I needed to change. So when we've reached the vowel branch, we copy from in copy, and then we outbox that first. Otherwise, we're going to outbox 0, and that doesn't work. And then, just for the hell of it, I'm going to say, this branch of code is called not V question mark. I don't fucking know. Okay, so this does it. Let's just go ahead and strike the pose of the code works perfectly, and we just have to sit here and watch it do its damn thing for a little while. What? Management expected T, but I outboxed U. The hell? Send everything from the inbox except... Oh, I have it backwards. I'm outboxing things that are vowels. I need to outbox when things are consonants. Son of a bitch. Alright, so if we have voweled something, then we don't outbox it. We just jump back to the top of our code. If this is 0, then we want to change this. This no longer says vowel. This now says cons. And this says not C. Okay, that's all we needed to do. So now, if we've reached the end of our array, then we're holding a consonant. So we copy from our in copy register, which is here, and we outbox that, and then we start all over. That's all I needed to do. So this should throw down. This should outbox F. Let's see what happens. Yep. Okay. This worked perfectly. All right. I was kind of noticing that the code was taking a lot longer to run than I expected it would, and I expected it would take a while to run, but I didn't expect it would take that long to run, because, you know, this is computationally pretty expensive with the way that this game has done everything, because we have, like, this array thing, and I guess I can't really think of another way to do it except to do some sort of... You could just do it like a bunch of equal comparisons to, like, constants instead of doing the subtraction thing if you were using an actual computer, but we're not, so fuck it. Alright, so that was the solution. I don't know if that was optimal or not. It doesn't look like it was size optimal. And speed, I'm pretty convinced that was not even close. Alright, that's fine. Whatever, I don't care. Let's move on to the next shit.